Yo, what's up? It's your friendly Suburban Knight here. Welcome back. Welcome myself back. It's been a while. So, for those who remember, I used to have an MT-07, and somehow it has turned into a 10. Yeah, I wrote off my 7, which nothing major. I wasn't hurt. I literally just dropped it in the driveway, and the frame damage was not worth them repairing. So I ended up taking the insurance payout and decided it's probably better if I use that money for more adult things like buying a house. I'm back, new bike, new camera as well. Got the Osmo Action 4 with the DJI mic combo pack, which is absolutely, like, if you can see the footage here, like, I'm looking at it through a tinted visor and it looks absolutely incredible. I've had a couple of issues with the audio. I've just cranked the mic gain all the way down because this is so windy today, and doing 100 k's an hour, yeah, it gets a little bit blustery in the helmet. I've got the little Wi-Fi thing jammed into my cheek pad, and yeah, so far I just had to turn all the mic down. So hopefully this still sounds really good, albeit it may be just a little bit quiet and you can't really hear the bike that much. But yeah, so I guess yeah, some of you might have a few questions. Where have I been? What have I been doing? Not much really. That's the honest truth. I've just been working, saved a lot of money, which has ultimately funded this bad boy. And yeah, like, I just said to myself, I need to get a new bike. The time has come. I've got my house, you know, we've set up a little bit, and yeah, I really need it. Those who ride, I'm sure you get it. If you don't ride for a while, some of those mental health issues. My mate who recently just picked up his new bike, he was really pressuring me, and he said, mate, you get a new bike, you know, we'll go riding, we'll do all the fun stuff, and knowing how fun it can be to just jump on your bike and go for a ride with absolutely no destination whatsoever. A little bit about the bike. 2015 MT-10 SP, as you can see by these stickers and the beautiful silver, black and blue paint job, and these wonderful Olin suspension. Yeah, I've got to say this bike is way too much bike for pretty much anybody, but it is an absolute hoot. Endless power, you just can roll on. You've got your cruise control, adjustable suspension, adjustable power modes, all that sort of stuff. We're heading out to the Mount Terrick National Park, which I think is just up the road here, or it's not that far up the road. I'll jump off, I'll give you a bit of a walk around, show you what's being done to it. Ultimately, there's not really much. It's a stock bike with Woolich race tools on it. I bought this bike from a guy in Sydney, Mr. Moto Moody. Has about 16,000 k's on it now. I bought it with like 15 and a half, so pretty low mileage bike. It's been sitting in his garage for like a year. Hadn't really ridden it that much. Super reliable because it's a Yamaha, and it's got, yeah, power to boot, a great suspension. The brakes, not so great, but for me they're fine. I don't plan on doing any track days, but I'm sure if I did in the future, I would be throwing some good pads at it, maybe some braided lines. So yeah, as I was saying, not much has really been happening. I've been working, I'm still in the same job. We've expanded quite a bit, and I've taken on a lot more responsibility, which is fantastic. I mean, that responsibility is basically what paid for this. Still traveling at Chuka to Melbourne every week, so during summer I plan to do a little bit of riding, not a lot, not like I used to. You know, my MT-07 had like 78 something thousand Ks on it when it got written off, and most of that, I will admit, was commuter Ks backwards and forwards to Melbourne and home before it was sadly taken to the wrecker in the sky, or turned into a track bike maybe. I don't know what the guys did with it. It just had a little bit of frame damage down here, and the forks were scratched. I mean, there was nothing actually wrong with it. It would have been a perfect track bike, or for someone to fix up, get a new frame and do a viv and all that sort of stuff. I didn't have the time nor the patience, and I just wanted some cash to fund our house and, you know, a few other things. So as I was saying, we're heading out over here. You can see just those hills over there. That's the Mount Terrick National Park. I've never been out here before. I have lived here for 5-6 years now. I've been out here. I used to go that way to go to Bendigo, to go through to Melbourne, because that's a really good ride through there, through another national park. But I've never been down here. So I thought, why not? It's a beautiful day, and we'll just go for a quick little blat on the new bike. Since getting the bike, I've been riding around in like the lowest power mode, I believe, and traction control 3, which is, I mean, the wheelie control is not real. It's not like gyroscopic wheelie control. It's just wheel speed based, but I can definitely feel it when it's kicking in, and it's enough. Like, it's enough to keep you safe. I haven't ridden in the rain yet. I haven't really tested the brakes to their full potential, but I can certainly say the wheelie control, it definitely keeps the front wheel down. Oh, look at this. This is what I love. This is one of the reasons why I moved up here, was Northern Victoria in spring. All the fields are green, absolutely beautiful. 28 degrees on the dash. It's probably closer to about 25 in reality, but absolutely rip a day. I'd love some feedback. Let me know what the quality is like. I'm wearing my old Shark helmet with my tinted visor. It's really scratched up. I also bought a new helmet because this one's a little bit old, but I haven't got my chin mount yet for it. I'm tossing up between going with chin mount or Ride Moto. Ride Moto is significantly cheaper for a little piece of plastic. Understandable that it's, you know, made to suit your helmet and all that sort of stuff, but significantly cheaper through Ride Moto. That's an Arai XT4. Love the touring helmet. Peak. It's in like a Nardo grey colour, and it is so comfortable. No air, no wind noise in it. It might be far better than it might actually be better to use that helmet because there's a lot less audio, wind noise to affect the audio. But as I said, I just don't have it set up yet, but I'll be working towards that over the coming weeks once I pull my finger out. As you can see there, that little thing on the side, that's the audio. Just plugs straight in. You get an audio recording direct to the device, which is fantastic. It also records the audio directly to the transmitter itself, which is great because, as you know, if you've ever used a GoPro before, you would probably be aware that if that cable comes out, you lose all audio and you'll have nothing but wind noise. This actually records to it, so you can just plug it in, pull the audio tracks off, and just upload that into your video editing software that you choose, which, yeah, it's great to have a backup. That's one thing the GoPro could never do for me, was give me a backup. That thing used to overheat Mind you, it was like a Hero 3 Plus Silver, I think. And yeah, it was just not that great. So we'll head up here, we'll pull over, we'll find out how we get to this national park. I'm fairly sure it's over there, and it's just like a little road in. We will not be riding around the national park. I've learnt my lesson on the 07 when I did that little insert clip here track along the Camp Haspy on the wrong tyres. If I had some knobbies on that would have been absolutely sick, and I probably wouldn't have almost binned it. But alas, yeah, that bike's gone, and I am definitely not putting knobbies on this. Absolutely ridiculous. Impossible to speed as well. And if you regulate your throttle a little bit, you can actually change the way it sounds. It's pretty cool, actually. Alright, little country town. You know you're in a country town when the local footy club is sponsored by the Bendigo Adelaide Bank. Alright, where are we? Where are we? Oh yeah. Toilets? Toilets? Could we go for a swim? I reckon we could. We could probably go for a swim if the pool was open. Alright, let's pull up here. They said there was toilets, but there is no toilets. Oh, there's the road there. Here it is. MT10 SP. As I said, we've got the Akrapovic link pipe, stock headers, Arrow GP exhaust, just some aftermarket indicators, tail tidy. Nothing too crazy. Bit of frame protection, radiator guards, because yeah, who wants to be sorting those out? Yeah, the bike, it's fucking beautiful. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. If I was to do anything, I'd maybe just change a couple things. I want to replace this because it's got quite a few scratches, but we'll probably just polish it up. As I said, yep, comfort seat, Pyramid Plastics pillion cowl, which is pretty cool. Yeah, absolutely love it. Anyway, we're going to take a quick little break before we jump back on the bike and head into the national park.
5 minutes later.
Alright. Alright guys, we're back. We are back. And we're heading off to the Terek National Park. As I said, never been here before. Old mate farmer. It was a bad idea. Maybe it wasn't. We'll just ride the brake a little bit. Yeah, so hopefully you can hear me a little bit more clearer now. Let's crack this visor so we get a bit of airflow. And you guys can hear the bike a little bit better. I thought this road was sealed. Obviously I was wrong. Google Maps didn't have like a street view of this street, or this road. Life is about the adventure. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. And yeah, this is pretty cool. Hopefully, you know, there's no fucking buoy monsters in here. Apparently it's only 2 Ks or something to like where the car park is. This is going to be the longest 2 Ks ever. Oh, except for that time I went to the Thompson Dam and, you know, had to do like 50 Ks on gravel. That was rough. This bike does not like getting chugged. Low RPM is not its favorite thing. It certainly does prefer to be up there in the RPM a lot more than it is right now. But we'll just take it slow. There's no rush. We're in no hurry. Oh, that's a big rock. It's a very, very big rock. Nice little spot. Maybe we can get up there. Oh, I might not. I might just leave it here, guys. Might just leave it here. I don't really trust myself going over that. All right, let's go for a bit of a walk. Let's see what this is all about. See what this is all about. I definitely won't be going up that. I'm not really dressed for it. Not for hiking anyway, but this is a nice little spot. 6,393 hectares. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh, look at that. Hooded scaly foot. Looks like a nope rope to me. Okay, so no horses and dogs or other pets, vehicles including motorbikes, maybe only on the formed roads. We've got registration, 30 k's an hour. I don't know how you could do more than 30 k's an hour on these roads. On that anyway. The 3 meter area is cleared for anything flammable. Okay, so we can actually have a fire. All right, so we're here. This is the whole park. And we rode from like over here somewhere, which is pretty cool. Definitely something to check out. Definitely want to bring some dirt bikes here, or maybe just something that's not on street tires. But no, so far so good. Well, I'm just gonna pull up a seat over there and just chill for a bit. I think it's quite a nice little place. It's quite quiet, and after a long week, sometimes that's all you need, guys, is just somewhere to chill out and just relax, take in a bit of nature, some fresh air, listen to the birds, and I need to find a tree to water.
2,000 years later.
Alright, and we're back, guys. Still got to get used to this GP shift, fucking hell. I have a new jacket as well. I've got a new Alpinestars jacket, which doesn't have a liner in it. Unlike my old Jaws jacket, I think it is, which had a removable sort of like sleeveless liner, which kept your core nice and warm in the winter or when it was colder, but you could remove it and it was just full of air. Unfortunately, over the last few years, the jacket itself, like I had the zip replaced whilst we were still living in Melbourne, and I think it's just my fat gut, to be honest. Yeah, so that jacket I had to replace because it was kind of old. It was quite dry, the leather. The jacket was so comfortable, and I really loved the airflow in it. I don't know if I'd be able to wear this jacket if it got much hotter, or I was doing a lot more riding, of like slow speed riding, because it would just simply be too damn hot. You want to be comfortable when you're riding, and I think this is a perfect like autumn and spring, like maybe early summer jacket, but not something you want to be wearing when it's 40 something degrees in the middle of central Victoria. It's great at night. I chuck it on when I ride to the shops, and so far I've gone down to like 18 degrees and it was pretty damn good, but much more comfortable than my other jacket because it's just got a little bit more room in the belly. I think once we get a dirt bike, which was the original plan. Before getting this, I was strongly considering a motard, like a 450, WR450 motard, but the servicing was just something that I couldn't deal with the amount of Ks that I'd be doing on it. Maybe something that I can consider later. Maybe that can be the bike for the missus. She doesn't need something super powerful, but I mean a 450 motard would certainly, or even a 450 dirt squirter would certainly be quite interesting. Now, one thing I really hope that we don't see is emus. Emus can be, they can be a right royal pain in the ass, because they'll chase you down, they'll kick you, they'll chase you down and they'll kick you off your bike. And also kangaroos. I really don't want a kangaroo to just come up to me and box me off my bike. Not exactly my idea of fun. Ooh, those corrugations, brutal. I love country Victoria. As you probably know, I did grow up in Melbourne. I lived there for nearly 30 years. When you're trying to buy a house, and even the shittest, worst house that you can find is still double the budget, you're in a bit of trouble. Which is why we moved up here. That's another thing that you might see on the channel a little bit. It's just, putting around the house, doing stuff. Turned into a little bit of a lawn fanatic. Lawn in the backyard and a bit of landscaping out the front. Done all of that by myself, with a bit of help from my brother and obviously my girlfriend. But I haven't paid anyone to come in or anything like that, and that's quite rewarding. I used to really hate mowing lawns as a kid, but once you have something that's your own, you end up taking a lot more pride in it. Another thing that I've really been getting into is barbecue. I got myself a master built smoker, and I've been using that a lot. Like, it's cute little boy. Been using the master built quite a lot, and great little smoker. Master built 800. Been doing a lot of grilling, a lot of smoking. Made a bit of jerky. Whoa, buddy! Flaming galah! What a flaming galah, as El Shirt would say. He was close. I could have reached out and pulled a feather. That was very, very close. It'll be interesting to see how good the camera, this new Osmo Action 4, picked that up. I wouldn't be surprised if it was absolutely perfect. I think I'm filming in 2.7K at 60 frames a second. So yeah, that should be pretty damn clear. What else? What else has been happening in life? Yeah, nothing super exciting. My grandmother did pass away, which was pretty rough. She was diagnosed with a cancer, inoperable, and back when they first found out, the doctor, who was really good, pretty much said to us that she wouldn't probably make it 12 months. If she had 3 months, she'd be lucky. And this woman, she fucking stuck it out. She saw 2 more birthdays, and before saying enough's enough, which was hard to see her go. It was really hard. That woman was basically my second mum. I grew up living in her house for the first 18 odd years of my life, and she was always there after school, and yeah, she was really just like a second mum. always there for us, always looking out for us. Nothing was ever too much for her, and she would rather go without to make sure us kids, were able to, do the things that we needed to do, like our sports when we were younger and everything. So very, very selfless lady, and yeah, she. Oh man, that was hard. Like those last 2 weeks it was hard, and it was almost. I think it's almost 3 years. It's 3 years coming up, but it doesn't make it any easier. But it certainly did change my outlook on a lot of things. When someone who's been there for your entire life, it was always just around the corner. After I moved out, would happily loan me a car if my car was needing repair, or the bike was in the shop, or anything like that. It's hard, really, really hard. But you do have to look at the positive. She had a fantastic life, and everyone was able to, come and say goodbye before she passed, which was great. The other thing that happened as well, which a lot more recent, was our dog Mika. Some of the Melbourne guys would have met her when they came to my house. Also got diagnosed with cancer. We noticed a lump on her rib cage, and we took her to the vet. The vet said, yep, it's more than likely this. We won't know unless we operate. So we operated, and they removed as much as they could. But during the operation, they actually found out that the cancer it actually originated just inside of her chest cavity. So like just on the inside of her ribs, and was growing outwards. In doing so, the cancer had actually eaten through 2 of her ribs. The most ridiculous x-ray I've ever seen in my life is literally like a hole, probably the size of like a mandarin or a small orange, in the side of your dog's chest. That was really hard. That getting that news was absolutely heart-wrenching. We'd had her for 10 years, nearly 10 years, and she was our daughter. Like, we don't have kids at the moment. Our kids, like I tell people, my kids have 4 legs and fur, and yeah, she was our baby. Absolute, like, our baby. And yeah, that news, it absolutely, it broke me, but I didn't really show it, because I didn't want to believe that it was real, and it really, really messed with my girlfriend. She was distraught, but we spent the last probably 3.5, 4 months just doing everything with her. Absolutely everything. We would take her to the park, we would take her, multiple times a week, whereas normally she would just be happy chilling on the couch. Taking her to the markets so she could interact with, a lot more dogs and just be happy. And mind you, throughout that whole time after her surgery, she was fine, and that's what made it so hard, was knowing that the end was coming. It was coming. It was going to come. One day, it was going to come. But we didn't know when it was, so we just made the most of every single day. She has been my first dog since I was a child, and it's hard. It was really, really hard. I actually was on my way home from Melbourne, and I got home, and apparently she'd been perfectly fine the whole night. You know, she was a little bit quiet and stuff, but upon getting home, she started to get really quiet, and she was spending a lot of time out on the lawn, and she couldn't go to the toilet, and she was noticeably in a lot of pain. And we just thought, okay, well maybe she's just, you know, she's starting to feel a little bit of pain, and which is understandable. Like, imagine living with completely obliterated ribs for months. Like, there's going to be a time where you're going to start to feel a bit of pain. And yeah, it's very, very quickly went from, you know, being, you know, she's okay to we have to take her to the vet, and we have to take her to the vet now. Mind you, this is at 1 o'clock in the morning, and yeah, it wasn't much fun, to be honest. We rushed her to the vet. The vet checked her over and just said, sorry guys. I had been working myself up to that point, ensuring that, you know, I could be strong for my girlfriend, because she was an absolute mess, as you would expect. You know, she spends all of her time at home with her. You know, that was the only company that she really had, because I'm away with work, and it was, yeah, it was hard, really fucking hard. But I've got to say, the vet was really fucking awesome. We did what we needed to do, and the vet was happy for us to just sit there with her afterwards. Gave us all the time. She said, guys, you know, it's like 2:30 in the morning now. I'm going to bed. You guys can stay around for as long as you want. And yeah, it was the hardest decision I've ever made in my life. The hardest. Looking back at it, it was the decision that had to be made, because you can't have your best mate living in pain for your own selfish purpose. Like, it's just not the kind thing to do. So yeah, there's been a lot of good in the last few months. Quite a lot of good. Or sorry, I should say years. Quite a lot of good. And a little bit of shit. But as my nan used to say, you can't see the stars without the darkness. So yeah, tell me guys, what do you think of the view from the cockpit here? This is ultra wide, 2.7K, 60 frames a second. I don't know how much moto vlogging I'm going to be doing, but when I do, I'm going to ensure that I put my best into it. There may just be a couple short rides here and there. When I ride to Melbourne, I might go for a bit of a burn with the boys, or it might be a slightly longer trip where we, say, go to Jamison for a camping trip. The only one thing I don't like about this bike is the mirrors. They're fucking useless. Like, all I can see is my elbow in that mirror. This mirror, oh, I could do some adjusting there. Oh, I can see a little bit better now. Bring it in a little bit maybe. But yeah, the mirrors are quite terrible. I'm gonna have to see if I still have my old MT-07 mirrors, because this section here is actually a little bit longer, which might make it a little bit easier so I'm not staring at my shoulders or my elbows. A couple of things that I do want to do to the bike is just get it looking immaculate. Like, I want to complete cut and polish all the plastics, ceramic coat all of this to get them all back and looking better than factory. I need to get a power socket so I can charge my mobile phone for those longer rides. I've got the quad lock with the vibration mount, as I didn't want to completely destroy my Pixel 7 Pro's camera. I thought about getting the wireless one, I've heard some varying reviews on it. The other thing with this bike, holy fuck, it is really, really, really hard to do the speed limit. Like, really hard. Well, we've only got about 10% battery left. So far we've been recording for like an hour at 2.4k or 2.7k or whatever it is, which is pretty nuts. So it was a good little test.